Welcome to the Cash Flow Couple Podcast, where we go behind the scenes in our short-term rental business and reveal tips, tricks, secrets, successes, and failures. Whether you have 0 units or 100 units, this podcast is for you. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Wendy Williams, along with my husband, John Williams. Together, we operate Queen City Suites, a short-term rental business here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Welcome back to the podcast. John and Wendy here. So last time we had some really cool guests. We had Brittany and her husband, Joe. That was really cool of them to be on the podcast since they just started their first short-term rental.
Yeah, and it was fun being in Miami too.
Miami was awesome.
That was a cool place.
It was cold.
I know, you should. It's kind of that everybody looks at you like, what?
Yeah.
It was cold?
Right. It was like 65 degrees.
Yeah.
The whole time we were there, and there was a pool and everything. I did get in the hot tub.
Yeah, we got in the hot tub.
Yeah.
And it was warm enough to get in the pool that first day.
That's true.
While we were there, people that lived there were like, yeah, this happens about 3 days every year. Of course, it was the 3 days we were there.
Damn. Oh, well. But it was fun. It was fun to get to see everybody. So let's talk about our inventory system this time.
Yeah, and that's kind of an interesting topic because we have these multiple locations and we have supply closets at all of them, and they all have things that need to be in there, toiletries and all the supplies, and how do we keep track of all of that, and what do we need to order when?
Yeah, so it was a big job at first because I didn't really have any idea what I was doing. I was just kind of making it up as I went along.
Right.
But because we cater to families, we have houses. So every time we set up a new unit, it's like setting up a whole new inventory system because you have to have a supply closet at each location.
So when you say inventory system, I think about our system for getting things there and getting things back and all that. And that doesn't change when we add a new one. So you actually mean the supply closet itself? The
supply closet itself, yeah. So we have to set up a whole new supply closet.
True.
And that's where we keep all our inventory. So we have a closet that's large enough to handle all the inventory that we put in there. So we've already talked about inventory, I believe.
Yeah, but as part of our system, we don't have to recreate that every time.
No.
It just plugs in, right?
Yeah. So we just
now
use the same system, but it took some trial and error to actually get a really good system. And I think we have a really good system going on right now. So what we do is set up a supply closet that's large enough for us to put in bulk items such as, we buy the big paper towels in bulk and the toilet paper in bulk, and it's large enough to put in a shelving unit because I like to keep everything organized. You know how I am about
and label it
organization
with your label maker.
Label it. So we get inside the supply closet. There's a large 5-foot shelving unit that probably has 5 shelves or so. And then on that shelving unit, we have smaller shelving drawers where we keep all the little stuff like the amenities and the sponges and batteries and small trash bags. But I get to use my label maker for those.
Did we do an episode on the supply closet?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure. I can't
remember. I know it's a chapter in our book, so I get the two confused because we talk about things a lot.
Well, I know we did a Facebook Live.
Yeah, we did do that.
So I don't know if we've actually done it on the podcast or not.
Okay.
But just to recap, in case we haven't, that's what we do. And so inside the supply closet, that's where we keep all the things that the the cleaners need to restock the unit, such as paper towels, toilet paper, all the amenities, because we leave small personal amenities in each bathroom. We have a little bit of cleaning stuff like Windex and Clorox, but normally the cleaners bring their own.
And the K-Cups in there.
The K-Cups are in there. The creamer's in there. The tea is in there. Everything that needs to be restocked every time there's a turnover.
Right.
So I actually have a list. I have an inventory checklist, and I hang it up inside the supply closet. But actually what I do is I laminate it. And I really like that because it's the runner's job to write on the inventory checklist. Every time there's a turnover, our runner is in charge of counting everything that is on the inventory checklist and writing it down. And then what she does is she takes a picture of it and she uploads it into an app that we have called Trello. And that way I can see if anything needs to be ordered, and that's how I decide. If anything gets below 1, like for example, we've got she counts how many paper towels there are, and if I know if I've got 1 or 2 rolls of paper towels left, then I need to go ahead and order them from Amazon. So that's how I know if we need to restock anything. So every Sunday, I will go through all the Trello cards. Why don't you explain what Trello cards are?
I know, because we were like, people are like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, so we use an app called Trello.
Yeah, so some people know what Trello is and some people don't.
It's really cool. I really like Trello, and we use it a lot in our business.
Yeah, we use it. It's not a particular tool for doing anything in particular, basically. But what it is,
you can make it whatever you want.
Yeah, it's a online website you go to called Trello. I think it's Trello.com. And what you can do is you can create what they call cards. So the way I like to imagine it and the way it actually displays, it looks like a bulletin board with a bunch of Post-it notes on it. And they're arranged into columns.
Yeah, it does.
And so you can move the Post-it notes from column to column. So that's the way it would look if it were in the physical world. This is a digital representation, of course, of it. So instead of being an actual bulletin board, it's a web page. And it has these columns of what they call cards that look like Post-it notes. And the cool thing about them is you can assign team members to that board. They actually call it a board. And each team member can either be assigned to a card or interact with the card or move it from column to column. And so what we do is we create a card for every checkout. So every time we have a checkout at any location, it creates a card in a column that says to do. And it's really on that card is the checklist that the runner is going to do while they're there. So there's certain things we have them do, like get the laundry and take it to the laundromat, bring the clean, check inventory is one of them, is one of the things you're talking about. And then as part of that process, on those cards, not only can you comment on them and move them around, but you can also attach pictures to them.
That's what I really like.
And so we have them take a picture of that inventory sheet that Wendy's laminated, and they write on it with dry erase marker, and they take a picture of it and attach it to that card. So now we know for each checkout, we have a distinct card that has the pictures from that checkout. And then the runner then moves those from the to-do to the done. So there's a brief pause there because we got interrupted by our daughter, and I can't remember exactly what I was saying, but I was talking about Trello and how it's arranged into columns, and there's a card in each column for each checkout. And so what she does is takes them from the to-do, attaches the pictures, checks off the checklist, and then moves it to the done pile.
Right. And then
on Sunday, it's that done pile that you're actually going through.
Right. So
and looking for those pictures of what inventory was there on that
And it
date.
only takes me about maybe 10 minutes if I have to order things.
Yeah.
If I have to order something, really, it does not take very long at all.
Right.
Because all those cards are created automatically. Right?
Right. So part of our system is we have those cards being created automatically. We're not creating them every time ourselves. So that's kind of one of our back-end systems that goes and creates those cards, which is nice because that means we don't have to create them and they just appear and the runner just goes. In fact, that's how she knows her schedule is by those cards because they're dated checkout.
And there's a calendar function too.
Yes, and there's a calendar function
really
on there
cool.
so she can look at them actually on a calendar.
Right.
And when you click on it, it takes you to that card. And then she can do all what she needs to do.
Right. So she clicks on the card. It has the checklist of everything that she needs to do on there.
Yes.
And then she just checks it off. She clicks it, and that marks it checked.
And it's all the normal stuff. And take inventory. And take pictures of the inventory sheet.
Right.
And then we actually have her take pictures of other items in the unit as well.
Right.
So that gives us a record that, yes, the high chair was there on checkout. And it's time stamped and dated. It has a picture of it so that if it goes missing, so that's part of our process too. We actually have a documentation of each checkout and it's just automatically there. But part of that is our inventory sheet. And so you go through there, you take inventory, and then if you have to order stuff, that actually goes to another Trello board, right?
Right. Yeah. So what I do every Sunday is I sit down and go through all the done Trello cards for that week, and I look at all the pictures that she has taken of the inventory checklist, and I look at, how much we have of everything, and then if we need to order anything, then I go over to the inventory board and
it's the same way. It's another Trello board that's separate from this one.
Exactly.
It's got multiple columns. To be ordered.
Yep.
Ordered. Arrived.
Exactly. And what's really cool about it is that you can color code it to all the different properties.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's what we do. Yeah. And I really like that. So I know that, red is this particular property because we use the same color code for all the boards, like the runner tasks and the inventory and everything. So what I do every Sunday is, and it only takes me about 10 minutes. And so I will go through all of those done cards and look at the pictures of that she has taken, that the runner has taken of the inventory checklist, and I will look through and count how much we have of everything, and then
you have a threshold to reorder for each thing.
Yeah.
So what do you do if there are multiple checkouts in a week at a particular location? So in that case, you would have multiple pictures for the same location. What do you do? Just look at the last one, or do you?
No, I look at all of them
because you're only doing it once a week.
But I look at all of them because sometimes that helps to realize how much you're using of a certain item, in particular K-cups, creamer, and toilet paper.
So what are you doing to see if it's normal in between
yes.
checkouts?
Yes, right.
Okay.
Right.
Like, did those people use 10 rolls?
Right.
We don't leave out that much.
No, we don't. So I'm just looking to see how much we have used in between checkout, especially like K-cups is kind of interesting to look at because sometimes people use a whole bunch and sometimes they don't use hardly any at all.
What do you do with that information? Just note it?
No, right now, I just note it, but soon I would like to hire a VA to, I would like to turn over this to a VA and have a VA do all of this and keep a running tally of how much is used in between guests. I think that would be really interesting information to know.
Well, it would be good information to know because it would let us know how much inventory they're using and what it cost us per checkout on average.
See, now that would be really
So
cool
that would be
information.
something to track. But I was just asking, for the purposes of ordering, I would think that you would just look at the last one because those are the latest counts. No?
You could do that, but I personally.
So for now, it's just you're curious.
I'm just curious.
Okay.
Yeah, but eventually we will turn this whole inventory system over to a VA, and we're going to have a VA track all that information for us and then give us a report once a week, right?
Okay.
That's what I envision happening.
Okay. We need to talk about that more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't like that idea?
No, I'm just saying if you're not doing it now, then it means you don't have a system for it, and you can't turn it over to a VA if you don't have a system.
Well, I mean, of course,
that would be the discussion I would be having.
Well, of course, I would definitely do something like that, but I would just create a spreadsheet for it.
Okay,
is what I would do, and then I would do it myself for a couple of months and get really good at it, and then train somebody else to do it.
Right, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but for now, you just order and you put that on another Trello board we talked about where you place things. So when things come in then that you've ordered, what do you do? Right.
So once I've figured out what I need to order, then I go put it on the to be ordered Trello card.
Right. For that property.
For that property, because I have a Trello board or a Trello card for each property. And then I order it, and then I move it. Once I've ordered it, we get most of our stuff from Amazon. Every once in a while, I'll go to Costco, but I like to order things off of Amazon because I can drop ship them, and I can send it to the post office, and then the runner can go pick it up, and I don't ever have to see it.
Right, I like that too.
Yeah. So, but. So once I've ordered it, I move it over to the ordered column, and then when I get notified that it has arrived, then I move it over to the arrived, and then what I do is I actually have to. It takes me a little bit of time to do this, but I have to go through and look and see when the next checkout is for that particular unit. And then I create on the Trello card that's for the checkout for that particular time and that particular property. I actually have to physically go in and create an inventory checklist, and then I just note all the different items that are
so you go to the first Trello board we were talking about where all the checkouts are.
Right.
You find the next checkout, add those inventory items to be picked up and taken to that unit for that checkout. And so that's how the items actually get there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So the runner knows that there's inventory to be picked up, and then she goes and picks it up at the post office.
So it becomes part of her regular checkout task.
Exactly.
Because I think on that main list already, we have a main checklist that in one of the items says, check for any inventory below.
Yep, it sure does.
And if it exists, then they know they need to go pick it up.
Exactly.
And now they know which unit that stuff goes to.
Exactly.
Without having to call them or text them or otherwise notify them that it's there. It's just part of their process.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
And so the only work you really have to do is check those cards at the end to say, what do I need to order?
Yep.
And then when it comes, you have to add it to the next checkout card and you're done. The rest of it just happens.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So really it doesn't take all that long. So, and I like it. I like the system that we have. It's just I'm the one that's doing it.
Right.
That's the problem. But it would be very easy to train a VA to do something like that.
Yeah, well that was part of the reason we did it electronically. Because it is all online.
Right.
So it really doesn't matter even though you're doing it, you can do it in Miami.
I could.
Or you could do it in Bali if you wanted to.
Ooh, did you just say Bali?
Well, wherever, yeah. I'm just
Ooh.
making the point that
I like
your
the way you
physical
think.
location doesn't matter. You just need internet access.
I should be in Bali.
Yes, I didn't mean to get you off on vacation mode, but yeah.
Someplace tropical. Won't be too much longer. I'll get to go to Bali. Yeah, so that's the inventory system that we have going on right now, and I just got licked.
All the dogs after you.
Bobby.
That's funny.
She weighs 100 pounds, and she thinks that she is a lap dog.
Yeah, so she almost weighs as much as you do,
Right.
which means if she wants to be near you, there's no stopping her.
No,
Yes.
no, there's not. No, there's not. That might be my cue. Quit. Okay, get down. That might be our cue.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything else to say about that because it's pretty straightforward.
Okay, so just wrap it up and run me through it really quick.
Okay, so the supply closet inside the unit has the inventory, the laminated inventory checklist in it, and the runner fills out the inventory checklist with a dry erase marker.
So it says like soap, and they put a count next to it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
It says
Toilet paper.
toilet
they put a
paper,
count next to
and
it.
she counts all the rolls of toilet paper.
Okay.
And it says K-cups, and she actually has to physically count all those K-cups.
Yeah.
And creamer and trash bags.
And some things we don't count, like K-cups, we count individuals. Toilet paper and things like that, we're counting rolls.
I count rolls.
And like you said, creamer, we buy those little individual creamers. We're counting boxes of
right.
creamer.
I count boxes and trash bags. I count rolls of trash bags.
What about bottles of dish soap and things like that? You count bottles, I assume, or packs?
Yes, because we buy them in bulk.
Okay.
And they're refillable. So
what about the individual toiletries?
The amenities.
Are you counting those by the box too? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they come in boxes of, I believe it's either 25 or 50.
Okay.
I think it might be 25.
And so you're just counting boxes.
So
I
just count boxes.
So for little things, it's not like they have to sit in there and count. Okay, you have 300 makeup wipes.
Right. No.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get at.
No.
Okay.
We keep them in the boxes.
So it's item. Other column is count.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so she fills that out with a dry erase marker, takes a picture of it, uploads that picture onto the Trello board.
Trello card.
For that
Okay.
checkout. Every Sunday, I go through all that week's checkouts and I look at the inventory, and if I need to order anything, then I go to the other Trello board, the inventory Trello board, and I update it over there.
So that just helps you keep track of what you've ordered, what's come, and what's to be delivered.
Right, because I can't remember all that mess.
Right.
Not unless I write it down.
Right. Well, that's what the board's for.
So,
okay.
And then once something has arrived, and once an inventory item has arrived, then I put that on the next checkout.
So it then goes back on the next checkout Trello card.
Right.
On the runner task
on
board.
The runner task board.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's how they know to take it there.
Yes.
So that's a pretty good system. So your intervention really is only counting inventory aggregate at the end of the month, end of the week, I guess.
Yep.
And then doing any ordering if necessary. And then tracking things as they come in and telling somebody to take them there.
Yes.
Okay.
And it probably takes me about 10 minutes a week.
Okay. So that's not bad.
No. Mm-mm.
So 40 minutes a month or something like that
I
to
spend on inventory.
keep track of your inventory.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean there aren't other people doing work. It just means you're not.
It's not me.
Right.
And pretty soon, once we get a VA to do it, it'll be better.
You'll eliminate that 40 minutes. Okay.
I won't be doing it.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, for sure. Right. I can't think of anything else to add to that, but it's very simple and easy but it was hard to create.
Yeah, so
it took some time
those creation of those processes
create those.
And all that kind of thing.
That whole thing.
That's what we talk about in our instructional materials. So when we're teaching people, that's what we're showing them. Here's how we set that up.
Right.
Here's the system that you can use, and then you really just kind of have to follow it.
Right.
Which makes it a lot easier than reinventing the wheel.
Yep.
And what I like about those systems is, other than setting them up, they're free. Trello's free.
Trello is free.
For the most part, unless you're going to use advanced features, which we don't need to.
Right.
So it's essentially free. The part that creates the cards on Trello is I use a program called Zapier as an intermediary between our scheduling software, our property management software, and Trello. So that's how those cards get created. So we can show you how to set all that up as well. And that's kind of out of the scope of this, but there is some back-end stuff that happens that you have to set up so that you only do have to spend 40 minutes a month, and you can just turn it over to a VA for peanuts, basically, once it's all set up.
Yeah, so that's the best thing about when we coach people is that they don't have to spend all that time reinventing the wheel. We've already invented it for you.
Yes.
Right. So do you want to talk about that at all, or?
No, not any more than that. I just wanted to mention it.
Okay.
And also wanted to, I always fail to mention, but we have our book out, 88 Secrets to Success for Your Short-Term Rental Business. And that's been going very well.
Yes, it sure has.
We sold 2 books to Canada yesterday.
Nice.
Which I thought was interesting.
All right.
But yeah, pick that
Canada,
up if you haven't already. And if you have read it, please leave us a review. It's on Amazon. You can go to Amazon and search for it. 88, the number 88, Secrets to Success for Your Short-Term Rental Business. And if you've read it, leave us a review on there, unless you hated it. No, I'm just kidding. No, go leave an honest review. But check it out. We have all sorts of tips in there like this that I think are very valuable. I know are very valuable. And we've actually gotten a lot of really good feedback about the book.
Yeah, we really have.
So I've been really happy with that. And it's kind of neat to see people from even other countries buying it, which I think is cool. But it's out there. It's available. And we've got some training coming up here soon.
Yes, we are feverishly working on some training for.
Yeah, so just this week we finished up a whole mini course on how to get your first short-term rental,
right,
or Airbnb if you want to talk about it that way. But in that course, we tell you why we don't say Airbnb,
right,
and some of it's foundational mindset stuff, and then it's step 1 through 7 to actually go get your first unit.
Right. Yeah. So that's coming out here in the next week or so. So maybe next week on the podcast, we'll be able to
talk about it a little bit more.
Okay. Let's do that. So,
all right. With that.
All right. Well, thanks for listening again, and we will catch y'all next time.
Thanks for listening to another exciting episode of the Cash Flow Couple. If you found value in this episode, please subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, virtually anywhere you might find a podcast, whatever podcast player you're listening on now. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. It helps other people find us. It helps us move up in the rankings. If you did not know, we also have a YouTube channel. It's The Cash Flow Couple. All of our episodes go there. But as well, we also put other video content that is not part of the podcast. You can find us on Facebook at The Cash Flow Couple. We go live there quite a bit. We share tips, tricks, things that are behind the scenes in our business that you may not see on the podcast, but it's definitely more of a real-time, day-to-day type experience. So definitely follow us on Facebook. If you want to ask us questions, or if you have concerns or something you want to hear on the podcast, hit us up by email, info@thecashflowcouple.com. We love to hear from our audience. We really care about you guys. We want to see you succeed, and we want to hear what you have to say. So hit us up, info@thecashflowcouple.com. So until next time, happy hosting, happy investing, and we'll see you on the next episode of The Cash Flow Couple.